Welcome to the official launch of the School of American Education. This is a very, very exciting day for the Institute of Health and Management, and it's a another chapter and a new chapter in the history of IHM as we launch the School of American Education. As many of you may remember, in June of this year, May of this year, IHM and HCI signed an agreement, very important agreement with Arizona State University. And that was a monumental agreement for IHM and for HCI in Australia, as it really was the beginning of the next chapter of our development to be able to provide pathways for students from Australia into further opportunities in study and career with Arizona State University in the US. Today, we're very, very pleased to welcome some folks from Arizona State University, Chris Johnson, to welcome Emiliano Diaz from Sintana, and also to welcome Dr. Bijo Kunapurath, who is the CEO and founder of Health Careers International, as well, and Dr. Bala Ganasan, who is the head of school for the School of American Education. So welcome to you all. We'll be hearing from each of those guys later during the launch ceremony. However, today, as I said, thank you all to our participants who joined. You're all members of the HCI family, and this is a really important part for us to be able to talk to members of our HCI family, our partners, our alumni, our staff, etc., and all of our collaborators, so that we're then able to talk to you about this important initiative first. So, without too much more ado, I'm going to hand over to Dr. Bijo, who will say a few words. We're then going to hear from ASU, Emilio, and then from Dr. Bala as a final speaker. So, Dr. Bijo Kunapurath, as many of you have known, and you will have seen him around campuses, I'm sure make sure that he's very active in campuses. Whether you're a student, whether you're an industry partner, everybody will have seen and spoken to Bijo. HCI, as you all remember, was launched in 2007. IHM was launched in 2015, and since then has really become setting a new standard in education in Australia. And we are now looking we're very proud that this new opportunity enables us to take students to use their Australian education and to then export that or use that as a pathway into master's programs and then on to further career opportunities in the US through Arizona State University. So, Dr. Bijo, I'll hand over to you, and if you could say a few words, that'd be great.
Thank you, Simon. So I would like to welcome everyone for this very important event, which is the launch of School of American Education with IHM. Am I audible? Everybody can hear me, or is it okay?
Yes, you're very clear.
Yeah, thank you.
Clear.
So,
yes.
Yeah, this is a very important partnership. I think those who work in business knows partnership is not easy. It's more difficult than getting married. It's a lot of work behind decisions to partner with any institution. So I think we took nearly 2 years from 2022. I think August, Chris Hill from Sindana contacted me in regards to introducing ASU partnership and Ramsay Healthcare partnership to us. No, Ramsay was not mentioned at that time, only later. At that time, only talk about ASU. So we were actually going through the impact of the COVID, and the college was actually in a very big financial struggle. And we were taking loan from ANZ Bank to keep going. So it was a very tough time in Australia because the 2 years of border closure impacted mostly every private institution in Australia. So that's the time Chris from Sindana contacted us. So I was really looking for new opportunities because our values are innovation, caring, and excellence. So we want to be innovative. We can't be working in a space when the borders are closed and nothing can be done. So during the COVID time, HCA go and open a campus in Kochi. And that was one of the initiatives we made, because I think if people can't come to Australia, we have to go to the place where we can have students. So then comes to ASU. ASU was looking into more, building our capability and providing a world-class education to our students in Australia as well as pathway into USA. That's the options I was discussed. And I was very interested and very impressed with the university and the status of the university in a number one innovative university because that resembles our values. We are also innovative institution, even though we are very, very tiny compared to ASU. But we are actually doing a great job in our space in a very small area. So we continue to get excellence awards from various departments in Victoria in Australia, and it makes me thinking that we can grow learning and working with the ASU to the next level, so we can provide even better quality education to our students. That's what I'm always looking for. But again, this partnership means it's a lot of due diligence process. So ASU, Sindhana, and all engaged Deloitte. They want to know all about us for the last 20 years, what we done. Even we don't remember things they were start asking. So it was so painful process for 2 years. And our staff, quite a few of our staff was full-time work on this partnership work. So finally, Sindhana signed the contract along with the ASU and also with an investment partnership with the Sterling Partners. So this is a real partnership with the commitment in all aspect. So once somebody put money, of course, it's very serious. If not, it is just an MOU. So when Sindhana was talking to me about these ideas of great partnership, I also mentioned that I do have a lot of ideas with me, but I can't do it because I have no money. So one of the things I am looking for some investment because the college cannot offer a quality education without having a sound financial capability. So financial capability is very important for any quality institution. So we have now received, quality learning resources or curriculum along with financial commitment. So it's a whole ingredients to build a strong, successful institution we have now through this partnership, which was signed in May 2024. Since then, we are looking into how to move on with the partnership to take it to the next level. So this is the first initiative we're launching now today, which is School of American Education. We are launching with 3 courses. All the courses is pathway to master's level programs in ASU. The importance of this program is basically we are able to provide 1 semester in Australia. That will definitely cut down some of the expenses when they go into study further in America. So it's a more ASU values is like a charter says providing accessible education to broader community. So in that aspect, we are able to work with ASU to provide 1 semester in Australia, then they can continue and finish in America. So it's all aligned to ASU charter as well as our values and our innovation. So we want to be working with ASU to learn more about high quality education and provide the same quality education in Australia for all students in our institute. That's our goal. And this arrangement, I think, will benefit many students currently in Australia. Due to the changes in the regulations last year, Australia put a lot of new international student policies. One of them is they can't study after the graduate visa or stay back visa. So currently there is around 370,000 international students in Australia who is in the 2 years or 3 years stay back period. Once the stay back is finished, they have to leave the country or they will get a PR. That's either option they have. So those who has to leave, I think we have now a solution. If they wish to further expose themselves into US education and some work experience after that, I think this will help them to get global education, global job career opportunities. So we are proud to be offering this support to the students who maybe need at this time of the hour. They need this kind of opportunities. And we are happy to announce that we can offer that support to the students who need it. And after the COVID pandemic and with all these challenges in the last year, all the international education environment challenges, I think we as an innovative institution, we are partnering with Arizona State University, which will provide solutions to not only for international students, many of the domestic students in Australia would like to expose to global education and global career opportunities. So I strongly believe that this partnership will benefit many thousand students in Australia and also from Kerala, India, where we also expanded our territory, where we are going to promote in Kerala as well as into Australia. And I wish this project to be very successful. And our goal is to get at least 1,000 students to ASU in the first year of operation. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Bijo, and thanks for those for putting a bit of a focus on, you know, on the history and the journey to reach to this point as well, which you know, as Bijo said, was a very May of last year, May 27th actually, 2024. At about this time, we held our announcement ceremony for the partnership with Arizona State, with ASU, with Sintana, and also, as you can see from that slide, with Ramsay Healthcare as well in Australia. So very significant part, and this is our bridge programs that we're launching today. The School of American Education is the first. You referred to marriage a little earlier, Bijo. This is probably the first child of our partnership. So perhaps if we sort of follow that theme, we'll see where it leads later on. The importance of this, as I said, is very, very significant for HCI. And I would like to, I'm going to hand over to Chris Johnson from ASU. I had the fortunate opportunity of meeting Chris in Arizona last October. I must say, Chris, I have very rarely met someone who is so passionate about their job. Chris has worked in many parts of the world, many parts of the world. He has a real understanding of the global environment, the thoughts and the needs of students, and then how and he's an acute understanding of how that then can be adapted or needs to be recognized, and then also become part of the student experience at ASU as well. So Chris, welcome, and thank you for taking the time at the end of your day on this on Wednesday for you. I'm going to hand over to Chris, and Chris, if you could provide us with some insights and some better understanding around Arizona State, that'd be great.
Thank you so much, Simon, and thank you, Dr. Bijo, and everyone from the IHM team for the opportunity to be here and to partner with you along with our colleagues from Sintana. Arizona State is a different kind of university. It is a university that is built for the future rather than the past. Higher education, a little bit about me. I serve the university as head of global partnership development within our Global Academic Initiatives Office. Let's go to the next slide. And the ASU Charter is our touchstone. You can see it behind me on most of our campuses. It's literally etched in granite. It is etched in stone. That is how seriously we take it. And the lines that I think are most important are in the middle, where we say we measure ourselves by who we include, not by who we exclude, and how they succeed. Bringing them in is great. Giving access, giving opportunity is wonderful, but we also have to support them to succeed. And I'll talk about that in a second. And then the second part, the latter part of the charter, is taking fundamental responsibility for the communities that we serve, and that's Arizona, that's United States, and increasingly, that is our world, because we are interconnected and woven together through technology, through common challenges that we need to solve. Let's go to the next slide. So ASU is a different kind of university, as I was saying, looking forward rather than back, building a model for the future rather than refitting an old model to today's needs. So ASU's vision focuses on these, is guided by our design aspirations, and it's our place and using research, student success, which Simon touched on, engaging globally, and practicing principled innovation. Increasingly, we move into an environment where technology and tools are moving ahead very quickly, and we need to keep up in terms of making sure that those are serving our communities, our universities, our nations, our world, ultimately. Let's go to the next slide. So this is the vision of ASU for the future, kind of the next 25 years. We're seeking to transform global education. right? There are not enough places and not enough universities to deliver high quality education for all the talented learners around the globe who need that education, who need to be trained to be the doctors, the nurses, the pharmacists, the teachers, the professors, the business managers, the accountants, and so forth and so on that our world needs for tomorrow, tomorrow's tomorrow, and the future beyond. We need to build resilience. We need to empower our communities to sustain and respond and to overcome and even thrive through shocks. Dr. Bijo talked about the pandemic, but there have been economic problems and other kinds of challenges that are facing us. How do we lay the groundwork to thrive in these challenging conditions? How do we use technology for good? How do we inspire tomorrow's game changers? Again, looking forward. What are the challenges of the future? What are our companies, our industries, our universities, our governments needing in the next 5, 10, 25 years? And how do we adapt to serve those needs? Building the future of health. ASU is moving into the health space. It's launching a school of health and biomedical engineering that will include medicine and much, much more. We need to do more to improve health outcomes in Arizona, in the US, and globally. ASU, along with IHM and our partners, are seeking to deliver that. And then lastly, reshape our relationship with the planet. Ask any 18-year-old, 15-year-old, 25-year-old, is our planet in a difficult situation? 99% will say yes in my experience. How do we help our industries, our societies, our governments, our nations, our world adapt to be gentler and more sustainable to the planet? Let's go on. Just some very quick things about Arizona State. Dr. Bijo touched on, it's a big university. We have a lot of students. Right now, we have 15,000 students from 158 countries. We have over 300,000 students around the world that are receiving education in partnership with institutions like IHM at ASU, many other partnerships, almost 700,000 now alumni around the world, and the list goes on. Let's go on. You've heard this a lot already, but I'll just touch on it. #1 in innovation, 10 years in a row, ahead of MIT, ahead of Stanford, Caltech, and many, many others. Sustainability, we're not just talking about sustainability, we're delivering on sustainability. And then global impact, and this ties to the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. How are we advancing those? #1 in the US in those areas. Let's go on. And what does it mean for the students who enroll in these programs? Well, ASU is ranked #2 in the US for public universities and in the top 35 in the world as rated by employers for the employability of our graduates. And that's along with the famous, the high brand universities. We deliver excellent outcomes at scale for the learners of tomorrow. Let's go on. And how do we do that? Well, it begins, of course, with outstanding faculty, Nobel laureates, MacArthur, the Genius Award, it's sometimes called, and many, many other types of experts, both academic, but also drawing from industry, so that we are constantly adapting our offerings and reshaping those to respond to the demands of industry, the challenges of today, and going forward. ASU can't do it alone. IHM can't do it alone. Together, we are educating the future, transforming the tomorrow, and delivering on the promise that all young people have and making it possible for them to live those dreams. And so with that, I will yield the floor. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here.
Fantastic, Chris. Thank you very, very much for those insights, and you provide a really great bridge into some comments from Emiliano. One of the one of the things I would note, I think, which is very, very important to IHM and really dovetails beautifully with ASU is IHM's mission and HCI's mission around education for employment. You know, students make a massive investment in time and financial resources and effort to undertake great education. And that pathway or that preparation for great jobs and great careers to change the future is really very much embedded at the heart of HCI and IHM as well. And that's a really nice segue across to yourself, Emiliano, who's going to be looking at just a few comments around the pathways and the new opportunities for global students as they pursue further education. In this case, with ASU via bridge courses from IHM. Over to you, Emiliano.
Great. Thank you so much. And it's really a pleasure to be in this very important launch of the School of American Education. We together, between ASU and the School of American Education, IHM, are launching 3 certificates that are connected to master's degrees at ASU. As we create this global network of institutions, which IHM is part of, connected to ASU, we'll look for opportunities to enhance and increase the access for international students. ASU, as Chris mentioned, has these mandates or design aspirations, and one of them is engage globally. So ASU has the mission not only to serve the Arizonan students, the US students, but truly the worldwide community. And with that in mind, we created these pathway alternatives. How do they work? The students enroll at the local institution, IHM, specifically the School of American Education, into a certificate, graduate certificate. They have to have their bachelor's completed to get into this program. And they take 4 courses in 1 semester. Those 4 courses are actually following the same courses that ASU delivers in their master's degrees. And this connectivity allows not only to have a fluid experience between the certificate and the master's degree, but also prepares the student for the type of education, the type of program, the learning outcomes that are required to make sure that when the students transfer to complete their master's degree in the US, they are going to be successful. So you can see it also as a way of reducing risk, connecting the programs, preparing for your transition into the US, getting into the specific cultures, both academic and US in general, and then transfer when the student is actually in a higher level of readiness. We're launching 3 degrees in these modalities. The certificate connected to the master's in biomedical informatics and data science. That's a very modern degree. The master's in nutrition, oriented for several health areas, and also the master's in global management, which is delivered by the Thunderbird School of Global Management at ASU. So there's 2 health options and 1 management option. Particularly in the management option, there are different concentrations that students can choose, 16 of these options. Now, to make it brief, once the students complete the certificate, these 4 courses, then they transfer to Arizona State University in person in Arizona. We together between IHM, Sintana, and ASU coordinate the admissions process, the transfer process, the paperwork, so the students don't have to go through a nightmare of 2 institutions. We really work hand by hand together. And then once the student transfer to ASU, they take 1 year to complete their master's degree. This could be between 6 and 11 courses. In the longer masters, they might opt to go a little bit slower, maybe a year and a semester. But in general, you take just 1 year to complete your degree. Because these degrees are STEM qualified, the students can then take what is called OPT, or optional practical training, which is an extension of the student visa that allows them to work for any employer in the United States related to the degree that they took. So this is a great opportunity because you prepare in Australia and study for a semester, you transfer and finish 1 year master's degree, and then you can legally work for up to 3 years in these degrees in a related field. That really provides a unique opportunity that reduces the time needed in the States, reduces the cost of the degree by 20 to 30%, plus reducing the cost of living expenses in the US, which are naturally higher, prepare the students, and then work with ASU and the support systems to gain employability during that period. So altogether, this is a great opportunity. There's even more. The students can work part-time during their first year of study for the university or related to try to solve some of the expenses. And all this package, the great thing is that the part on the US side, the section of the master's degree can be financed through partners without collaterals. So we really provide access in mind, connecting this, reducing costs, reducing time, connecting to work, and providing accessibility and financing opportunities for those who want to get into this adventure.
Fantastic. Thank you, Emiliano. It is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. And I think, Chris, your second last slide talked about ASU's position as number 2 in the US for employability as well. And I think that really, when we at IHM first started looking at these, looking at bridge programs and looking at pathways, etc., that really gave us confidence to be able to talk to partners, and start to have those initial conversations with students who generally are, always wanting to understand what is the likelihood of success. Every single student who has gone through the effort of earning a bachelor degree in Australia, their next phase, they're always wanting to understand the likelihood of success. And I think ASU's position as number 2 in employability in the US, what Emiliano's reflections also on the connection that ASU and these programs have with Arizona. We spoke yesterday with some of our agent partners. The amount of investment being made in Arizona and in the state in the past 10 years and over the next 20 years is astronomical. Billions and billions and billions of dollars in investment in production, in manufacturing, all of which require services, all of which are going to provide fantastic employment opportunities for graduates as well. So, and remembering, of course, OPT is not limited just to Arizona. You're able to take up employment opportunities all over the US. So there's myriad of opportunities across through those as well. So thank you very much, Emiliano. Thanks for those insights. And I'm going to, without further ado, hand over to Dr. Bala. Dr. Bala is the head of our School of American Education. He has taken on this role with great enthusiasm over the past 4-6 months. And I might note that Dr. Bala we're very well qualified to take on this role. Earlier this year, at the end of last year, he was recognized in the top 2% of academics in the world. So we were very, very proud to be able to celebrate that achievement with Dr. Bala, but also to be able to know that we have someone of that caliber at the head of our School of American Education at its beginning point as well. So Dr. Bala, I'm going to hand over to you, and if you could then provide a bit of information, a bit of an introduction to the programs. But I believe, first of all, you're going to launch the School of American Education website.
Thank you, Simon, for good intro, wonderful intro. And good morning, everyone. I'm truly honored to be here today for the significant milestone, the official launch of School of American Education website. First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Bijo, our CEO, and our esteemed partners from ASU and Sindana Education Partners for their unwavering support in bringing School of American Education to life. And also, I would like to extend my thanks to our IHM team, including Simon, Professor Aman, Jones, and Nayana, and People and Culture, Jimmy, Sharmila, and Finance team, other IHM team members. I would also extend my special thanks to the website development team, Prajit, Titor, Sruti Mol, Vishnu, and his team members. This initiative represents our commitment to bridging educational opportunities between Australia and the United States and the world, providing students with a transformative learning experience. Next slide, please. Yes. With this great excitement that I now introduce the official website of the School of American Education. This platform will serve as a primary gateway for students, educators, and industry partners to explore our programs, admissions pathways, and many opportunities we offer. Next slide, please. And I would like to introduce what are the courses that we are going to offer through our School of American Education. And let me introduce like a certificate courses, structure and delivery at the School of American Education. And for the coming intake, we are going to deliver 3 courses named Biomedical Informatics and Data Science, and Certificate in Nutritional Science, and Certificate in Global Management. And also the next intake in July, we are going to offer other 6 courses like a Health Informatics, Positive Psychology, and Medical Nutrition, and Health and Administration Policy and Leadership Management. In terms of delivery and duration of this course, and the course can be completed within 6 months, that is equivalent of 12 credit hours, and the course entirely will be delivered online. Next slide, please. And also we'll have a look at our certificate course units details. And when we look at that unit details, and each course will have 4 units, and the 4 units, each unit will have a 3 credit hours, and totally 12 credit hours. So once completing these 12 credit hours at IHM, and students are eligible to enroll ASU courses to complete their master degree at Arizona State University. Next slide, please.
That is the last information slide, Dr. Bala.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. And I invite everyone to explore the website, where you will find all the information needed to start your academic journey with the School of American Education. And together, let us unlock new opportunities for global education and student success. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bala. Could I maybe just to add a little bit more, could I ask you a couple of questions, and maybe you could provide a bit more information as well? So will the students be studying, can you talk about the mode of delivery for the 4 units, the bridge courses they're studying?
Yes, like each certificate course will have 4 units, and that course will be entirely online. And the students, actually we have scheduled for 6 months, but at the same time the students can be completed, the course can be completed in 16 weeks, with including excluding breaks. So they can easily complete within 18 weeks. So first 8 weeks 2 courses will be delivered, then 1 week break. Then after that, another 2 units will be delivered. So another 8 weeks. So totally will be 18 weeks. So the students is easily to complete their course within 6 months.
Could you talk a little bit, maybe just provide a bit of information about our lecturers and our educators, where they're located, and some of their, and perhaps also a bit of their experience?
Thank you, Simon. And we have recruited like more than 7 academic staff from other universities. They are going to work as a senior lecturer and professor at the School of American Education. They are well qualified, and currently they are working as a head of school in the IT and business analytics, and also in the public health field. Mostly those staffs, academic staffs, are from well-renowned universities, G8 universities from Australia, like University of Wollongong, University of New South Wales, and Torrance universities, and also our academic staff always out of these 7 staff, and another 2 academic professors are recognized by Stanford University as a top ranking scientist, like a 2% scientist like me. So they are well qualified and expert in that, particularly in artificial intelligence and technology and innovation. That's really, having here, it's really proud of us, like for our School of American Education. Yeah.
Thanks, Dr. Bala. And the first, how often will you be offering intakes as a final question?
Yeah, like currently we are going to, the first delivery will be on March, and yearly we are planning to offer 6 intakes. Every 2 months, we'll have an intake for this one.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dr. Bala. And I hope that, thank you for that information as well. And I think as Dr. Bala said, all of our lecturers for these units, for these courses, all of which are very, very important as part of your preparation to transition to master's programs at ASU, are all being taught by leaders in their fields. So, and I think that's a very important part of IHM's commitment to providing high quality education at all times, so that you'll be able to maximize your learning opportunities as you proceed through. That brings us to the end of the formal components of the launch of the School of American Education. And I'd like to thank you all for joining. I'd like to thank you all, as I said earlier, for being members of the HCI family. As Dr. Bala said, the first intakes for the three bridging courses is coming up in March. So that will be our first intake. You can contact us through many ways, through our website, and through the School of American Education website. And you can connect with one of our counselors through there. You can visit our campuses in IHM's campuses in Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth. And as well as, if you're in Melbourne, you can visit our admissions office at 398 Lonsdale Street in Melbourne as well, and one of our counsellors can provide you with information and further discuss your individual situation, because obviously every student's situation is maybe a little different as well. I think, as Emiliano mentioned, just in closing, we look to the application and process as being one unified effort, rather than, we don't expect you to be applying to 2 colleges individually. You're applying to a pathway which involves 2 partners, IHM and ASU as well. So when you do talk to our counsellors, they won't be talking to you about 2 colleges. They'll be talking to you about one outcome, which will then be career opportunities, further study and career opportunities with ASU in the US as well. So we look forward to speaking to you. Please, everybody, I think, will be able to identify or know somebody who may be in a situation where this program will be a perfect fit for them as well, and help them to realize their next level aspirations. So think broadly. Please contact us either via the website, our counsellors there, at our campuses, Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth. All of those contact details are on the website, the School of American Education website, or if you're in Melbourne, as I said, visit our admissions office at 398 Lonsdale Street in Melbourne as well. Chris, Emiliano, Dr. Bijo, Dr. Bala, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate your time and for joining us today. Thank you to all of the participants who joined as members of the HCI family as well. And I see a raised hand.
There's some questions in the chat. Please have a look.
Okay. Let's have a look here. Here we are. Okay. So what we might do is we'll go through a few of these questions. I'm a nurse with a bachelor's degree. Thanks, Walid, for your question. And Chris and Emiliano, Dr. Bala will sort of work through some of these questions, which hopefully will inform everybody as well. I'm a nurse with a bachelor's degree in nursing, and I'm interested in the details of the master's program at the University of Arizona. So that would, I think, Walid, there is the nursing qualification is one of the programs that will pathway nicely into, if I correct Emiliano or Dr. Bala, the Masters in Nutrition, I think, or into in nutrition. So what I'd suggest you do is you can contact directly after this webinar, you're able to contact one of our counsellors, and we'll be providing an email directly after this webinar to everyone who has registered with contact details that are most suitable for your time zone as well. Evangeline,
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm currently studying a master's degree in population health leadership in the Republic of Ireland. Well done. Am I eligible for an online master's degree online? Emiliano or Chris, would you be able to answer that?
Sure. This particular bridge program with IHM, the local delivery of the certificate, correct me if I'm wrong, is also accessible internationally.
Yes.
Through online delivery. So that part can be taken online. The section of the masters at ASU also has online options, though this program is designed to help you go into the States, finish the degree face-to-face, and then have the OPT option. So the answer is yes, and there are many combinations. So please reach to one advisor to explore what's best for you.
Hope that answers your question, Evangelista. Deepu, could you please just tell us about the fee of the various online courses and the further one-year masters for sure. Dr. Bala, would you be able to talk about the fee for the IHM component? And Emiliano, if you could talk to the ASU component, that'd be great. Dr. Bala?
Yes, for the IHM side, for the 4 units, they have to pay only 12,000 Australian dollar or otherwise 8,000 USD have to pay for that. So each unit 3,000, so 4 units will be 12,000 Australian dollar.
And Emiliano, the master's programs at ASU?
Absolutely. The masters depend greatly on the program per se. The masters in nutrition science, using this connection bridge, the ASU segment is around $35,000 for the complete degree tuition and fees. This does not include the living expenses that you have to take when you're there. And this is considered 30% below the average regular tuition of ASU and in a reduced time frame, reducing cost of living. Keep in mind that graduates of ASU in average in the United States, when they get to a job, they can get salaries in the range of $60, $70, $80, or $90,000 US American dollars. So it depends on the program and the specialty. But while it is still a really big amount of money, the return on investment with these employment opportunities is real. Not only that, remember that you can finance 100% of the ASU cost, including living expenses, through our financing partner, Empower. The other degrees, MS Biological Informatics, $42,000 approximately. These are estimates. It varies a little bit when you start and which courses you take. And finally, probably the most expensive degree, Master's in Global Management from Thunderbird, which is the school #1 of international trade globally, #1 in global management globally. That's a good redundancy. $62,000 compared to more than $80,000 for the full degree. That covers a year to a year and a half of the studies in the US.
Thank you, Emiliano. And I think the distinction is that the fees are less for each of those programs if you are coming via the IHM pathway. So there is a saving of around about 20 to 25% on the overall fee by coming via the IHM pathway. And as Dr. Bala said, 12,000 Australian dollars, so approximately 8,000 US dollars for the 6-month bridge before you then go into the master's program with the pricing that Emiliano mentioned as well. So hopefully, Deepa, that provides the information you need, but please feel free to contact one of our counsellors and they will be able to give you further information about that as well as please visit the website because that same information is there as well. Next question is, what is the eligibility criteria? What about someone who is already doing a master's program? Emiliano, perhaps if I ask you to answer that, please.
Absolutely. The very specific admission requirements for each program, I recommend that you speak with enrollment advisors because it includes a lot of details about specific prerequisite courses. If you take nutrition, you need to have some specific anatomy and other courses, etc. But in general, the core basic need is that you have to have a completed bachelor's degree. And you have to have a good GPA, typically an average of 3.0 for most of these programs. And if you're an international student, if you finished an undergrad degree in English, that's okay. But if you finished in another language, you also need to take an English exam like the TOEFL or Duolingo. So in general, the most important element is that you completed your undergrad, and then for each program specifically, it might have specific requirements. Global management in particular does not have specific requirements. That's a more open to any major type of degree. Nutritional sciences and biomedical are more specific, but mostly about making sure that you have the knowledge to be successful in the degree. So that can come from a variety of majors and educational opportunities, or even it can provide remedies for those things that, oh, I'm missing this particular course, maybe you can take it. So granular level, talk to the advisor.
Fantastic, thank you. And I hope that provides the information that you were looking for. There's a couple of questions here, and maybe Chris, maybe a question for you is regarding scholarships within ASU as well. So, you know, are there scholarship opportunities available for the master's programs? What opportunities? Maybe I can hand that over to you, Chris, and the process that ASU applies.
Yeah, thank you very much, Simon. Yeah, so ASU does have a wide variety of scholarship opportunities at the institutional level, department and college level. All of those information about all of those can be found on the ASU website through its Scholarship Universe portal. And there you'll find the exact details. And it varies widely by program of study and other criteria. I will say that as in most things in life, the early bird gets the worm, as the saying goes. So if you are planning to embark on this journey with us and IHM and the bridge, you know, start researching that information early on. I will say, however, that ASU does not offer full scholarships. So for students who are in the situation where they need full funding, unfortunately, that's not going to be an option in this situation.
Fantastic. Thanks, Chris. So I think Chris and we again, Chris, if we'll link the scholarship information to the School of American Education website as well, so that again students can visit the School of American Education website, and you can source that information as well. All right, I think that brings us to the end of our questions. Fantastic. So and thank you thank you all very, very much for attending. Thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. To all of members of the HCI family and our partners and our collaborators, thank you for attending as well. A recording of this session will be available across our social channels. We'll also be including key highlights onto the School of American Education website as well. So over the next couple of weeks, or if you wish to, please look out for invitations to webinars and shorter Q&A type information sessions, so that we're then able to address individual needs or individual student questions as well. So thank you very much all for your time. We really appreciate, Hassan. Thank you very much for the compliments. The team has put a lot of time, a lot of thought into this pathway and program, and we look forward to being able to provide that opportunity for students. So everybody, please have a great afternoon. Thank you for your time. Emiliano, Chris, please enjoy your evening. It's a little later over there on a Wednesday. Dr. Bijo, any final words before we close?
Oh, just thanks everyone, and we look forward to working with all of you and making this initiative a very big success for all of us. Thank you.
Excellent. Well, the School of American Education now lives and breathes. So the first child of our partnership with ASU, we look forward to welcoming you. Please contact us, have a conversation. It's the best way only way to find out and get an insight into what pathways and what opportunities. Thank you all again. Please have a safe afternoon or a safe evening, and we look forward to seeing you at our next event. Thank you very much.
Thank you.